Hello, you guys. Welcome to my channel. This is Lady Di with Dating to Marriage Support. If you are new, please hit the subscribe button and show some love. And everyone, please get the likes up. All right. So today's topic is about intimacy. In today's time, there are people, women and men, who are lacking in that area, and it causes a lot of issues, such as not having it, right? That could be an issue. People think there's no need for it because, oh, we're together, right? They become complacent. We're together. We don't have to do it at all. The same thing we used to do in the beginning. We don't have to do that anymore because I'm married to you, or I've been with you for 5+ years and whatever, or it's old, or whatever the case is. There's always an excuse for couples not to be intimate. And to me, and this should not happen. It shouldn't be an excuse for not being intimate. Why? Because it's going to cause issues all the time. People are going to become irritable, angry, and all of those things. So, but is there a reason why people are not doing it? Is it really just because they're tired? I know a lot of us women will say, oh, we're tired, or, those type of things. I'm going to play a clip of this lady saying the things that women say.
Women say to not have sex with their partner. 1. I'm too tired. 2. I have a headache. 3. I'm on my period. 4. I don't feel well. 5. I'm not in the mood. 6. I don't feel like it right now. 7. I have a yeast infection UTI. Ladies, just imagine if men said no to us or rejected us as much as we rejected them. We gotta do better. Treat him like you wanna be treated. I don't feel well.
I'm just gonna keep this list up. Let me get this list back out.
I'm not in the mood. 6. I don't feel like it right now. 7. I have a yeast infection.
All right. So, I'm too tired. So a lot of women are going to say that they're tired because they are. I'm not going to say that women are not tired. They are tired. They feel, oh, I'm working and I'm taking care of the kids, doing homework and making lunches, or, whatever it is that they are doing. They feel they are too tired. Also, I have a headache. Having a headache is just an excuse. So most women that say they have a headache, they don't have a headache. They're just saying that because it's something that you can't say, oh, well, you can't dismiss that. Like, you have to say, okay, you have a headache, right? You're not going to be an a-hole and just say, yeah, whatever. So they say that because that's like, listen, don't ask me nothing. Don't push up on me. Because if a woman says that she's too tired, most likely you're still going to try to push, right? All right, I'm on my cycle. Okay, I don't know which one of you guys are doing that, but hey, that's whatever toots your horn. I don't feel well. That's another excuse. A lot of women, they feel quite okay. Okay. When your woman is sick. All right. So you should know if she's telling a lie. I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood means that she did way too much. She is completely exhausted. And yes, I could agree about women being completely exhausted. I know I can have days where I'm exhausted, but should that be an excuse? I don't feel like it right now. So she's right out saying, I ain't doing it. So bye, right? And I have a yeast infection. That's nasty, but okay, obviously don't do it, during that time. But I want to say, are these legitimate excuses? Now, some of them are legitimate, okay? Being really sick is legitimate, but to navigate if this person is lying or she really don't feel well. And like I said earlier, you should know what is happening. I understand that we as women, we use these excuses because we really just don't want to do anything, because the day was long. But should it be a reason that we don't? Should it be because, okay, I'm tired, so I don't want pleasure? Us women, I'm saying us because I'm a female, we should stop saying that. We act like, okay, we're too tired, so I don't want pleasure to make me feel better, right? That's a lot. That's what a lot of people are saying. They are too tired, but they're saying bump how they actually feel. I don't want to make myself feel better. So they use these weird excuses. You being tired, yes, you think that the man is not tired, working all those hours, especially if he's the provider. Okay, going out, driving to work, staying around people he don't even want to be around if he doesn't like his job, dealing with that nonsense, trying to keep his job because he got to pay the bills, and then coming back to hear you say you too tired, when I'm pretty sure that's what he was looking forward to. The only best thing in his day, besides bringing home the money, was coming to you, and you're going to say you're tired. So you and him are tired. It's not just one person tired. So both of you guys are tired, so you should be able to still do something. Why? Because it's to benefit you both. You both. And for women to feel it's not benefiting them, I think you need to reevaluate that. It does benefit you. It's a lot of health benefits, on that. Okay. So that's one thing that we all, as women people, not just women people, men will say that, but if a man says that, that means he ain't feeling you. All right. Men normally ain't gonna say I'm too tired. They will be ready, even if they just close their eye for a second. They coming. All right. So let's see. They put more energy at work to please the boss than their partner. That's a good point. That is a really good point. They wake up hot and ready, right? Looking all nice, hair done, got this nice ass lingerie that only your man should see anyway, looking nice, smelling good. Come home sweaty, whatever. They're like, whatever to you, whoever's with me. That's not how you conduct a relationship. A relationship should not be built off of sex, but it is one of the main things you guys will be doing besides talking. And that's one thing that we need to put back into relationships. That should not be something that should be, all the way in the back, past the kids and all that. No. It is a healthy thing to do. I'm going to play this clip of a lady explaining that sex is a chore.
If in the middle of the day, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm feeling so much love for him, and I want to show him how much I love him. And when the kids go to bed, we're going to have sex. And as soon as the kids go to bed, I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. I just don't want to do it. Or it's like, okay, okay, if I just have sex right here, it's just a quick thing. Okay, then I have to get up and pee right afterwards and have to shower. And then we have to, it's not.
Okay, she's thinking way too much. She's thinking about all the stuff she got to do before, all the stuff she got to do afterwards. I'm not saying you can't think about those things, because those things you need to do, or you're going to be getting those UTIs. Okay, you're going to be getting those yeast infections. And for men too, they can have UTIs as well if they don't urinate afterwards, right? And women. So yes, you have to do those things. Don't be lazy with that. But at the same time, why are you thinking too hard? Just I'm gonna keep playing.
It's a chore. It really is. There's just so much to it. It's not just this it's not like in the movies where you just do it and then you lay in bed and you fall asleep. If you do that, you get a freaking UTI. There's so much around it. And so it feels like it's a lot of work. And mentally, it's a lot of work.
So I want to agree with her with that. It is a lot of work, and mentally it is, because you do have to prepare, be in the mood. That's not something where we're snapping it, especially men. They probably could snap it quick, but women is more mental. We can't just snap it in together. We have to mentally be ready. So as men, if your woman is feeling exhausted and she always saying she's tired, it sounds like maybe helping, and I'm not saying men are not helping, but let's say the ones who are not helping as much, maybe helping taking some of the slack that maybe, she's not doing or doing as far as, duties in the house, or just helping her be in the mood, giving her extra compliments, saying that she looks good and those type of things to help her get in the mood. Sometimes women need help to get in that space. Now, does that mean that every single time a woman is saying she's tired, you're able to help her get in that space quickly? No, it would take time. That's just something that a man could do on his part. And on a woman's part, just be able to say, okay, yeah, you're right. I want to feel good too.
to shut off from being in mom mode to being in sexy wife mode. I have to shut off from being, what's my workout routine that I have to have memorized for tomorrow, and like all that to it as well. And then also I have to like emotionally be there, be present for him. And it's a lot of work. It's easier to just say, no, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, it is easier saying no, you're going to bed. It's laziness. So let's see. Wow, she said it's a chore, even though she is getting pleasure. That's the weird thing about it. How is something being a chore and you're getting something from it? Like, even okay, I would just use this, the example of washing dishes, right? The only thing we get out of washing dishes is that the kitchen is clean. So we get a clean kitchen, which means we have a clean slate to cook or do whatever we have to do. But that's not even about you. That's about the kitchen and how manageable it would be to be operating in the kitchen. But something for you as a person, you're getting pleasure. Even like when women get their hair done, that's like a pleasure. Like, I feel amazing. This is helping me. This is like a confident booster. Okay, it's something for you. So for her to feel that it's a chore, yes, that's a little weird. All right, let's see. This comment says, "Well, this topic is a two-way street. I think that if you talk throughout the day, you would know how each one's day is going. I think based on that, you should know if tonight is a good night to be intimate. It shouldn't even be like that." Now, I'm okay. There are things that happen. There's like crazy days, but I think us as people should look at intimacy as something that will help relieve stress, because that's what it does. Help enhances your mood, because that's what it does. All of those things. Think of it as a form of exercise. That's what it's doing too. Think of it as something that you need, like you do when you brush your teeth. You have to brush your teeth. You should, right? You should brush your teeth morning and night. Think of something like that. That's what you need to do. Now, is it possible to do every single day? No, because things happen, especially if you have kids. You have all these practices, doing homework, kid got sick, exhausting. You have to maybe cuddle a kid and stuff like that. Okay, but it shouldn't be like the reason why you're not having it is because you're saying you're not having it. You're not sick or nothing. You're just, I ain't having it today. No, that should never be a reason, especially if the man is willing to go with you. Like, men normally don't say anything about that. So I don't know. I think as far as that, we as people need to do better, and maybe, like I said, man helping the woman get in the mood, and woman trying to be in the mood when the man is helping. Like, don't have this man do all that work and you still gonna shoot him down. That's not nice and that's not fair. Now I want to play a clip that's kind of explaining more in detail about what we are talking about today. So stay tuned for that.
A relationship where it doesn't feel like there's enough sex sounds like a trivial and somewhat comedic luxury problem, as though someone were complaining there wasn't enough tennis or yoga between a couple. But an absence of sex isn't trivial in the least. It's a humblingly serious problem, and might even be what dooms the relationship itself. One statistic stands out. In an average year in the OECD countries, 70% of those who initiated divorce cited a lack of sex as the first or second reason for parting. If there's one generalization we can make about couples, it's that a lack of sex, by which we mean something like less than 4 times a month, is an alarm bell we should listen to. Why is sex such a key part of keeping two people close?
I'm sorry, I gotta pause on that. Did this man say 4 times a month? So that's like once a week, and then he said less than. Is that what we're doing today? Listen, I'm not in everybody's, business, but I do know it is a problem. You see how he said that it stems divorce because it's less sex in the house. That is a little ridiculous. I don't understand, like, especially for a man. Men are different than women, okay? So for them, that's not even natural. Okay? You know about the blue, I don't want to say it, but you know what I'm saying? Blue sacks or whatever. You don't want those type of things. It is not healthy for anybody. So 4 times less than, sorry, he said less than 4 times a month. No, that's not how it should be.
Because in sex, two people accept each other in the most profound of ways. The apparently dirty and shameful sides of us, the wayward fantasies and the unusual longings, are legitimated through sex. Someone else witnesses and accepts us as bodily and psychological beings. Sex symbolizes an end to loneliness and a reaffirmation of trust. Not daring or wanting to have sex with a partner is tantamount to admitting that one can't be oneself in their presence. A lack of sex is bad enough, but far worse is the way in which the unreciprocated longing for sex tends to manifest itself.
Just think of it like this. You know how you could be hungry, right? You're like, hey, I don't want this meal. I want that meal. That's what I'm craving. So imagine that crave that you get when you want, let's say, ice cream. You want that chocolate ice cream with the whipped cream on top or whatever your, favorite dessert is. And then you go to the ice cream shop and it says, we're closed. And you're like, how does that make you feel? Think of sex like that. Think of a woman or a man. It goes both ways. Think of a woman or a man. They want something so bad. And then when they get to it, they're like, that's not happening. Y'all know what that feel like when you can't get your favorite dessert or whatever it is that you desire that you want to eat and indulge in. What does that feel like? That's a horrible feeling. Listen, I'm a foodie. So for me, that's horrible. Think of something for, I don't know, like an event. You want to go to an event, you got the money for it, right? You want to go to a concert, you got the money for it. You get to the ticket booth and they're gonna say sold out. You're like heartbroken. That's how we need to look at sex. It's heartbroken, right? It's you crave it so much and you can't get it. That's exactly what this man is trying to say.
Typically, the person who wants it doesn't ask very clearly, maybe merely sliding a hand over in a timid, half-hearted search for reciprocation.
Do you know how embarrassing that is for someone to keep, maybe if I rub her shoulder a little bit, she'll get a little sensation. Like, who the hell wants to do all that? That's embarrassing as hell for a man to sit here and act like a little baby, little child. Like kids, they want your attention so bad. You're so busy and they're all in your face. That's what that looks like, you guys. Who wants to do that? All right. James says, if you keep pushing your partner away, that can make them feel like they are begging for it. Exactly. Think you ever begged for something before? I don't know. As an adult, we try not to beg as much because we're grown. What am I begging for? I could just pay for it or go get it, right? But think of begging. Like you got to get on your knees and be like, yes, please come. No adult should be doing that, especially if you're in a relationship with the person that you love. Yes, Stefan. Yes, facts. No one should be doing these things. Linda says, so tell us, ladies, how to get the energy when you work 12 hours a day. The man, okay, so I'm gonna play both. So if you're working 12 hours a day, is he working 12 hours a day? Or is he working 8 hours? All the same. So, all right, 12 hours a day. Are y'all both working hard at your job? Okay, so if y'all mutually be like, I am tired, all right, it's a mutual agreement. But if one is tired and one isn't, okay, yeah, there's passes like, oh, okay, yeah, go get some rest. I'm not saying it has to be forceful, but don't always use it as an excuse all the time. That's all I'm saying. It's not like you should be using it all the time. Like, I'm tired. So every day you're just tired. So when are you going to please yourself? That's the biggest question.
They don't complain calmly, don't deliver an eloquent, self-confident speech about how difficult they're finding it, and don't inquire sympathetically as to what might be going on in the partner. Far too often, they tend to quickly move on to symptomatic behavior, wherein their disappointment and sense of humiliation are acted out rather than discussed. They bang dishes. They get mean. A whole raft of
Sounds like kids. Imagine a kid. No, you can't have that piece of candy. They have temper tantrums. So us as adults, we have some of those traits. Like we're going to have a quote unquote adult temper tantrum over over intimacy. And no, I don't want to say it like that. Over intimacy. No. Remember, intimacy is not just about one's wanting to do. It's something that needs to be released, especially for a man, and it's both. It's the releasing factor. It's unhealthy not to do it. Now, you could train your body not to do it, but you do that when you're single, not when you're in a relationship. Especially for no reason. And then the person always use these excuses. There are 24 hours in a day. Figure it out. Exactly. There is 24 hours a day. If you have kids, your kids are not up 24 hours. Them kids need get a bedtime. If you want to use an excuse, oh, the kids. All right, 8:30, 9 o'clock. Bye-bye. All right, so at least you got from 9 to, I don't know what time you guys go to sleep, 9 to 11 or something. You know, you got to take a shower, get ready for the next day, include the person. It's something for you. The one day I'm off. Listen, the one day I'm off. Who's doing the one day I'm off? That's that 4 times a month situation. That's going to lead into a divorce. I think we just got to change the way we look at it. That will bring change to our mindset. That's all it is bringing change to the mindset.
Conflicts then develops that has ostensibly nothing to do with sex and yet is caused by its absence. One starts squabbling over the in-laws and the state of the kitchen. The one who's been let down sexually behaves so badly they start to seem like a monster, further reducing the chances of sex ever taking place. Eventually, the sex-starved party may simply go off and have an affair, not because they don't love their partner, but because showing their desire has become so fraught with rejection that they're out for a bit of revenge. The lack of sex discussion is so hard to have because, quite simply, it feels so shameful to be unwanted sexually.
That's exactly what I was saying earlier. Embarrassing, shameful. You know, things that should be happening anyway. It's natural. It's not nothing wrong with it. And now you feel bad because you're wanting something that you should be doing anyway. So what I want to say is that it's okay to be tired. It's okay for all those excuses, but don't make it a habit, because the habits is what's going to make it, I'm going to do it less than 4 times a month. This is why Stefan says, this is why some men cheat due to the lack of sex in relationship or marriage. That is very true. Remember, as women, I'm speaking to the woman right now. Women, understand that men are not built like us at all. They have other situations that has to be let go, okay? Especially if they're into an exclusive relationship with you. So you sign up for the relationship, you sign up for intimacy in that order. You, him, you in the bed or wherever you guys do it, okay? That's the order of it. That's what you signed up for, unless you said, hey, I don't want to do it. I want to be celibate, all right? If you're not having that discussion, that is what you signed up for. That is what you guys need to be doing when, you know, the time is right, but don't make it for less than 4 times a month. Or the man is going to step out, even women, for the men who are not, doing that intimacy with their woman. Women stepping out too, because they seen John at work, and John looked good. John Ben looked good at work, and they trying to be faithful, but I'm not getting, it's not tickling my fancy. I'm not getting that. So they're going to go to John at work. All right. That's not something that we need to be doing. You're going to catch disease.
It plays into every worst fear about unacceptability. It's bad enough when it happens on a date. It's even sadder to have to admit that one's being rejected by one's partner inside the apparent safety and commitment of a long-term relationship. Maybe there's something wrong with them, but far more likely there's something revolting about us.
Yes. Okay. I've been saying Scotty the scammer, man. This is exactly what's going to happen. They're going to sit here, meet John at work, and they're going to get Scotty the scammer. Nah, he was just playing. He don't want you, girl. He used you. And then that's exactly why things are going to happen. You are being used by these people thinking that they want you and they don't. Long term is what I mean. That's what relationships and marriage is about. A long-term commitment. A long-term commitment. But what if, Linda says, but what if that one day a week he gets all the bells and whistles to last him for the next 7 days? Ain't no such thing. Let me read this again. I'm going to read this for y'all. Ain't no such thing. But what if that one day a week he gets all the bells and whistles? So we talking about the S&Ms or whatever it is that you guys are into. Last him for 7 days? Ain't no such thing. Okay? There is no such.
Boy, if you don't get...
Who's doing that? No one's doing that type of stuff. That don't last. Stefan says, in my opinion, you should be sex at least 5 times a week. See? This man is saying that. Most men are saying that. And a select few of women agree with that. Select few. Okay? A select few is happening. How come it's not even thinking like a man? It's just being like, oh, it's for me too. Who is doing? Okay, see, I don't understand. 5 times a week. 5 times a week, you guys. I gotta
Key
keep
to
going.
a process of reconciliation is to rein in one's wilder feelings of rejection and self-disgust in order to be able to consider why the other party might have gone off sex. Here's a key fact. Everyone wants sex, in principle. When it isn't wanted, it's because a condition for sex is not being...
All right. Let me remove this clip, you guys. All right. You guys are funny tonight. All right. You guys are real funny. I can't even. Let me read this chat. Stop. Let me put that back. Stop the cat. What is she talking about? That is hilarious. I don't understand that. All right, but I'm gonna move on. Oh, let me put the call-in link. For anyone that wants to join this conversation to put more insight to what I'm saying, either you disagree, we could talk about that, or you agree, definitely call in and let's discuss it. Now, if you were on my live yesterday and you was down there, I'm sorry I didn't see you, but I'm going to be watchful today. If you would like to call in, definitely click that. But at this time, I want you guys to get the likes up. Get the likes up if you are new or if you are here to join the show and you've been here supporting. Everyone, get the likes up. If you are new, please subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. All right. All right, so I'm going to play the next clip. Now, this one is interesting. This one is an older video, but these older videos is like happening today. All right. So I'm going to play this clip.
What do you do when you're feeling too tired for sex? With us today with advice on the subject is Jane Tier. She's a sex therapist and an educator.
And pleasure is what sex is about. We sometimes forget that. And very often the working mother who is performing in so many ways in life thinks of sex as another way to perform. It's important that you remember that it isn't. It's for her pleasure.
Yeah, because I would think anytime you feel you have to, but is that a part of being guilty because you're trying to be all things to all people anyway?
Very often it is. It's part of playing so many roles and wearing so many hats. You forget that some of the hats are really supposed to feel good. They're not supposed to prove anything. And a lot of working mothers are proving where they don't need to prove, and they don't need to prove in the bedroom.
Do we tend, Jane, to judge ourselves on a kind of a performance scale?
We tend to, and not only that, we tend to feel that men are judging us on a performance scale as well when it comes to sex. And we forget that the performance is really how good it feels, not how it looks or what's being done or what's not being done.
It's a good factor. It's not on how it looks, it's how it feels. Because if you guys are doing something that doesn't feel right, I mean, something needs to be readjusted, right? So we need to probably not only be more intimate, but make sure that it's pleasurable. We don't want to do something that's not pleasurable. Also, like she said, and what I was saying earlier, It's pleasure for you too. Now, I'm just going to pause this for just a minute and explain something for women, and I'm going to get to the men. As women, and I've been here before, having kids, I know I have a lot of kids, right? I have 4 boys, 3 natural boys. When I first had my kid, listen, hormones was nothing, none of that was happening. I was like, oh, it's too much. This is my first kid, and I'm all into doing the breastfeeding and all these type of things. There ain't no room to think about none of those things. This is my firstborn, and I slipped into a mindset of those, those little habits, not no 4 times a month, but those little habits. And I had to like recognize, oh my goodness, what about my husband? Like, damn, he's over there, just probably sad as hell doing those things maybe that the people was doing in the video earlier. And I'm over here, not even being considerate, because I'm going through my own thing and he's helping me. I'm not going through it by myself. He's helping me through motherhood since it's very new. So he's being considerate because he don't have to do that, right? You go to work, bring home the money, and then go about his business. But he was helping me too. So I was like, dang, I need to help him. Well, us. I was really saying him at the time because I ain't want to do nothing, but I need to help him too. So I had to literally figure out how to make my mind understand that it's a need for me as well. It was a mind thing. And as women, we get wrapped into the mental aspect of it. Like the other lady said, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to all these things. And it's like, it's not that deep. So we as women got to understand, like, it's a mind thing. We're telling ourselves that we don't want to do it because of all of these factors. That is not the way how it's supposed to go. Not the way how it's supposed to go. So I'm going to continue playing this clip and I'm going to get to the men.
How about sensitivity to one another? I mean, often there's so little time left anyway at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And perhaps you haven't even sat down to talk together, mm-hmm. which is often a prelude to romance. How do you achieve this a sensitivity so you really know what somebody else is feeling?
By just being direct about asking. It's so funny. We're very often not willing to be direct with just plain words. It doesn't take a lot of time to feel very sensitive and tuned into someone. If you sit down, just find out how they feel, find out how their day was. That can take 3 or 4 seconds, and you can get romantic real quick if that's what you feel like doing,
How about the myth?
She makes it seem so easy. You guys, you see how her mood is like, you just do this and you just do that. Like, we're coming home like, this is not done, having attitudes. Of course, you're not going to be in the mood because you already pissed off over little things. Nothing is going to be right every day. This attitude, I'm feeding off of her personality. I love that.
I mean, there must be some myths associated with all of this.
Oh, many, many myths. One of the classics is that, men are really in it for the erotic feelings, and women are the ones who have the emotional attachment to sex. And not only is that not true, usually, if anything, it's the reverse.
You mean women are in it for the erotic feelings? But we've never been told that was all right.
Oh, no, we certainly haven't been told that. In fact, we hardly even tell ourselves that we might be in it for that.
You see that? We're not even telling ourselves. It is a mental thing. We put everything right in front of the bigger picture.
The things we forget is that men have a lot fewer vehicles for expressing warm, tender emotion than women have. They aren't really allowed to hug each other and all that. And sex is one of their few ways for expressing tender feelings. Women have more leeway for expressing tender feelings in or out of sex.
Let's talk about frame of mind. What if you just aren't in the right frame of mind, or do you even have to be?
There is no right frame of mind. In fact, the whole notion that you need to not feel tired or not be in a certain mood or be in a certain mood isn't true. The only thing that really matters are you willing to feel nice feelings in your body?
I was just saying that. Like, remember earlier, if you wasn't here, I had played a clip that literally the lady mentioned all of these factors about how women say they're not having intimacy. Whole bunch of things there. And it is not true. I'm telling you. If your woman is sick, come on. She is just using an excuse because she doesn't feel like it.
Whether it was the worst day of your life or the best day of your life, that's all that matters.
You mean that you can actually find the energy if you really are dead on your feet after a long day?
And another point I said earlier, when I had my first child, right? I was like, damn, my husband over there is suffering. So I had to find energy, not just to please him, but to please myself, because I goddamn needed it too. Like, I'm sitting here going through a whole, like, oh, I'm a new mom. I need to do this. I have to do that right. I have to look at my child every 30 seconds, you know? And I'm like, I need to like reset. You know, it's a mind thing, you guys.
How do you go about shifting gears into another whole kind of a relationship?
I'll tell you, it's not even finding energy. It's when you're really willing to just pay attention to good feelings in your body, that doesn't take any energy. You can be knocked out, exhausted, feeling distracted, and if you're just willing, if your lover asks you, hey, if I did some nice things to your body, would you be willing to pay attention to it and enjoy how it felt?
That, oh my gosh, she's a genius. That was a great point. You can't stop something from not feeling good. Yeah, a little bit, especially women. There's an emotional factor there that has to be released. But for the most part, you cannot stop something that feels good. That is a great point.
That doesn't take any energy.
You say it's really even invigorating.
It can be if you approach it the way I'm suggesting it be approached. It's not invigorating if it feels like a performance or an obligation. Then it really is exhausting.
Yeah, but I just wonder who wants to be invigorated at 10 o'clock at night when you've got to get up at 6 in the morning with the kids and then go to work.
Anyone who remembers how wonderful it feels to have sensual pleasure.
You know, that's it. She said enough there. Anyone who wants to be pleased, anyone who wants to feel better than they did when they even got into the situation, anybody, you guys, that's all it takes is you saying, I want this too. Now, I want us to get to the men. Sometimes there are women saying, oh, he's not hitting it right, or whatever the case is. Everybody's different. I don't want to speak about your game on that, but I do want to speak on the health aspect. Some men, and women too, but I'm going to speak about the men. Some men are, let's say, not as healthy. They might have some type of issue like high blood pressure or anything where it could kind of stop the performance level of that factor. So being healthy, getting exercise, eating things like watermelon. Okay, you guys look that up. Men eating watermelon helps the level. I'm not trying to say too many words, but I want you guys to look that up. Okay, it improves. So exercising, eating the right foods, you know, drinking a lot of water, all of those things will help that part of it. And then after that, it's game time, I guess, right? And that's one thing I wanted to bring up is that, you know, all of us need to be healthy, even women. We need to make sure that we're drinking water as well, hydrated. Or, you know, you see my thumbnail, you're going to be dry. But let me move on. Now, this next clip is about a woman explaining about her father and mother. They got a divorce, and she calls it sex starved.
But what is that? So, a sex-starved marriage is one where one spouse is desperately longing for more touch, more physical closeness, more sex, more physical affection. And the other spouse is thinking, what is the big deal? Would you just get a life? It's just sex. But to the spouse yearning for more sex and more touch, it's a huge deal because it really is about feeling wanted, about feeling loved, about feeling connected, about feeling masculine or feminine and attractive. And when this major disconnect happens, what also happens is that intimacy on all levels goes right out the door. They stop sitting next to each other on the couch. They quit laughing at each other's jokes. They don't spend time together. They stop being friends. And it places the marriage at risk of infidelity and divorce. Now, some of the reasons that people have low desire or an insatiable appetite for sex are very complicated and deep-seated. But I'm happy to tell you that the primary cause for a sex-starved marriage is also the simplest to solve. And before I explain that solution, I really want to go on record for saying that if you're sitting here thinking low sexual desire is a woman's issue, I want you to think again. Women do not have a corner on the low libido market. I'm convinced that low desire in men is one of our very best kept secrets. Now, having said that, I want to also tell you about a little talked about fact, and that is when it comes to a sex-starved marriage, the person with lower sex drive controls the sexual relationship. Now, when I say that, I don't mean that this person is intentionally mean-spirited or unkind or manipulative. I just mean if that person isn't interested in sex, the partner may as well go take a cold shower because it's not going to happen.
You see how there's so much information out there? You know, if there is issues in that department, look it up. There is so much to learn. Learn how to be in the mood. Learn how to get your health together, right? Stefan says health is wealth. Exactly. Learn how to do that. Look for it. Inquire about it. You know, it's no good in your household. People are getting mad having adult temper tantrums. You think that's okay? And you're going to say, oh, just get over it? No, we are human. Yes, things happen where you're tired, but don't make it a habit. Learn and inquire when there's trouble in paradise.
Now, I find this really curious on a couple of counts, because when we think about how decisions are made in marriage, we generally think about mutuality. Two people decide when to get married, whether to have kids, how to raise those kids, what to do about the finances, the in-laws, who's going to do what around the house. But conspicuously missing from that mix is anything having to do with sex.
Yeah, like, I mean, earlier I was saying, why is that all the way in the back of the list? That needs to be right here, okay? You and them. That's it. One hand in front. Not everything in between. We already got everything in between anyway in the society, which is working and stuff. But once those things are away, right here, okay?
What's it like, the nature, the quality, the quantity? I find this incredible. I know couples who have been married for 20 to 30 years who have never spoken about sex. The other thing that's really amazing to me about this unilateral decision making is one person decides no sex and expects the partner to accept it, not complain about it, and oh yes, you have to be monogamous.
I'm so glad she brought that word up, monogamous. You know, today that's what we do, right? We're monogamous. We can't do all the other stuff. But I mean, okay, let me read this. In my opinion, if you are married, you should have sex at least 5 to 6 times a week. So, monogamy, right? We're, deciding to be with one person, but then the one person you decide to be with withholds all of those things from you. And then you still want this person to be monogamous. I want someone in the chat to explain how that makes sense. Because obviously back in the day, when someone didn't want to do something, the other person going to do it, and the other person going to do it, whatever. So I want someone to explain to me and to the audience how you not having intimacy in your marriage, okay? How you not having intimacy in your marriage, but you want to be monogamous. So I don't understand that. I'm saying in the sense of, as individuals, we're deciding to be with one person, so we should do everything together.
Now, this is an unworkable arrangement. Let me tell you about a couple in my practice. So meet John and Mary. They've been married for 15 years. And John's a real laid-back kind of guy, and he doesn't like to complain about much. Except in the last 15 minutes of my session with him, he finally gets up the courage to tell me about something that had been bothering him for a long, long time. That there really is only a 2-hour window of opportunity on Friday nights between 10 and 12 where Mary might be interested in sex. And he knows.
She, what do you mean? Wait. I thought that wasn't the.
Boy, if you don't get.
No, I had made a video a few weeks ago about Tia Mori. How, she literally said she had sex with her husband once a week and it was on a Wednesday. That what she said was worse than a Wednesday. At least you got the whole day to do whatever you want. This lady just said from 10 to 12. Okay, come on now. That must stop.
Not to bother her at any other time. Like you, laughing, I glanced over at Mary, and Mary was chuckling because she recognized herself in that description. John wasn't laughing. He wasn't smiling. And so
I bet he wanted to punch the crap. Listen, let me not.
I said to him, John, what's this been like for you? And he said to me, I want to talk to Mary. He turned to her, took a deep breath. He said, when I reach out to you in bed and you're not there for me, the only thing I ever think about, are you attracted to me anymore? Do you love me like I love you? Do you want to be with me? And then when you go to sleep and I'm
sorry, this video is funny to me because it's ridiculous things like this. This man is going insane. He is going insane. He has to he doesn't even know what to do with himself. He needs to get a woman like this.
So, ever since I was born, I've been trained to serve you.
Yes, I know this, but I would like to know about you. What do you like to do?
Whatever you like.
He's better off getting a woman like that. Because what he got over there, that is not hot and popping, you guys.
Lying next to you and staring up at the ceiling, all I can think about is this is the loneliest feeling in the world, lying next to you in bed. And to Mary's credit, her eyes filled up with tears, and she reached out and grabbed John's hands, and she said, John, I have to tell you, in all the years we've been married, I never, not once, have thought about what it's like to be you. I only think about, am I in the mood? Am I not in the mood? I am so, so sorry. I'll do better. John began to cry. I began to cry. For me,
I mean, wow. Wow. I'm so glad after all those years she was accountable, but did she change? Because that right there, guys rarely complain. We got to talk it up more. Yeah, who knows? He could have been saying something before, but she obviously was like, nope. But make it a big deal. Make it a big deal. Express yourself. A lot of men, they're like, oh, I'm not going to do that because she's just going to yell at me and say, you're crazy, you're a pervert. They love to use that word. But no, I think it needs to be discussed in a serious manner, like how you guys talk about paying the bills. Like, we need this money for this month or whatever. Talk about intimacy like that. That's how it needs to be, because obviously it's ruining a lot of relationships, marriages. Because yes, it should be right here, like I said, right in the front of your face, not all the way back here. And we got to get past all of these things to get there. Of course, ain't nobody going to be in the mood. You got all this stuff in front of you. So we have to do better as a whole, as a community, to understand that it is very important. Okay. If you guys are new here, please definitely subscribe, show some love. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you're in my live, please show some love. Also, everyone, please get the likes up. Please get the likes up. All right, y'all. This is ridiculous. This topic is ridiculous. The fact that I'm even talking about it, because I see a lot of my clients complaining about those type of things, and I had to bring this up for discussion. Now, there's so much more to dig in here, but I want to leave it at that. And I want you guys to remember that for the ones who are using these excuses and they're not, being intimate with their spouse, just stop it. Just stop all that. Nothing's wrong with you. It's you wrong with you. You need to fix yourself and get it together. You are as wrong with you. You, not him or not her, right? It's you. Figure out what type of mental space do I need to be in to understand that it's for me as well. Once you start thinking like that, and like someone said earlier, changing your mindset, understanding you both are going to benefit from it, you both are going to get pleasure from it. Remember that. Remember that when you're driving home from work. Get in the mood when you're driving home from work. Okay? Get in the mood when you step in the foot, in your house. Get in the mood when you're, I don't know, cooking. Just think about it. If you just think about it, it's going to happen. You don't think about it and you have all of these things in front of your face, okay? Of course, think about it until it happens, and then don't think about it no more. All right. At least do that. And then after that, think about everything you need to think about and get ready for the next day or whatever. But it's simple stuff. Simple stuff. Or you know what's gonna happen? This is gonna be people.
Security center.
Someone outside my window.
The police have been notified. I'll stay with you until they arrive.
I'm having a heart attack.
We're summoning the paramedics and your doctor, Mr. Perkins.
Do you know what that's about? That clip is about Life Alert. These people are alone. They're alone. Because stuff like that situation, people are getting divorces, not just for intimacy, of course, but people are getting divorces because they are starved from intimacy. And what's going to happen is people are going to be alone on calling Life Alert because they don't got nobody around them. Okay? No one around them. Okay, cooking would be good. Don't forget to cook. Yes. Make a good meal. Okay, make a good hearty meal. And while you're making that good hearty meal, you better be thinking about it until it happens. That's your duty. Now, I have a caller here. Let me see. Okay, unmute yourself.
Hey, how you doing, Lady Di? Sorry, I got the kids in the background.
Hello, how are you?
Doing good, doing well.
So what brings you here today? Do you agree or disagree?
No, I agree. I'm glad you had a lot of great videos, made a lot of great points. I just like to add some of the things like the guys can do to kind of, I guess, like to get the woman, because we know women are like a lot of times they kind of get ruled by their emotions, whatever. But there's some things that they can do to kind of help them out, help the women out, whatever. So.
Okay, so what type of ideas do you have? I'm gonna write this down because we need to know, hearing from a male's perspective. Go ahead.
Hey, yeah. So, I don't know, like one thing I do with my wife, like I kind of give her that look. Everybody know that look. You know what I mean? Even though we've been married or been together for like almost a while now. You still kind of give them that look. Just make sure, hey, yeah, you look good and stuff like that. So she knows that, hey, I still got it, type of deal, whatever. Because I want to make sure I'm doing that because I know probably other people are probably gonna want to do that too when she's out, whatever. But I want to make sure when she coming home, she can kind of still see like, hey, my man think I look good. So that's one, yeah.
Like given the look, that look, that's gonna help put her in that mindset. That's what I was saying. On the way home or doing her duties that she does at the house, just constantly thinking about it. So that would definitely help her boost that situation. That's a great idea.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think it kind of stems from like childhood because, women always thought their, vajayjay, whatever, is kind of like important type of deal because it's been kind of ingrained in them for years, which is a good thing because, as guys, we cherish that. So I think they kind of carried that mindset into the marriage rather than saying, hey, I got my man, whatever. Hey, my vajayjay is just for him type of deal. And this, it's value the value is supposed to go towards him, they kind of still try to retain that value rather than give it up after they got married.
Mm.
So if they have that mindset, okay, this belongs to him type of deal, just like you rarely see a man say, hey, I'm not going to give it up type of deal because we feel like, hey, our stuff belongs to her. You know what I mean? So we have to look at it that way. Like, hey, she's, fulfilling my needs, and she thinks, hey, he's going to fulfill my needs, type of deal. Just like the
Wow.
video said, we all need it. So.
Wow, that's what you guys think? Oh, okay. That put a different spin on it. I that seems like something that women or whoever should, think about, saying this is for you. It shouldn't be for anybody else, especially if you, are married. So yeah, thinking that it's for that person. Yeah. That's a good point there. You got anything else that's hidden in that treasure box?
Oh, that's all I'm gonna give for right now, whatever. So, but
Okay.
yeah, but I gotta go tend to these kids. But yeah, thank you for sharing this live. I think you're doing a lot of great job, a lot of great work, I should say. For the community, and more people like you need to be heard. So,
Okay, thank you so much for that. All right, I hope you have a good night.
you too. All right, later. Peace.
Wow, that was interesting. I love getting the male's perspective. If you want to call in before I end this live, please do so. But yeah, I like that. What do you guys think about that? As tips that can help. If you're new here, please get the likes up and subscribe. Get the likes up, you guys, and subscribe. Thank you. Yeah, so I mean, it's a tough topic. Like I said, there's so much more to talk about, but I want to kind of leave it at that. And another time we could discuss more things and understand that, you're not alone. If you're alone in your bed, you're not alone with the feelings. You're not alone with none of those things. It needs to be discussed. Us as people, we need to talk up more, express our feelings and our frustration, and don't hide it under the rug. It needs to be revealed. And don't wait until, let's say, the video I played earlier where they're like retirement age. Don't wait until that point. I mean, it's already kind of done there. Do it now. If you're young, 25 younger, 25 and older, whatever, do it now. Why not? Because when you say I do, that's it. No one should be getting a divorce, especially over nothing like that. Especially over nothing like that because it was caused by I'm too tired. That's not reasons. Those are excuses. So just make sure that you're in it not just for yourself, for the other person. It's both. It's both. Okay. He said you're 25. Okay. Do you have a girlfriend or a wife? And if you do, let her watch some of my videos. I have a lot of content. If those things are not understood. Sometimes people need to hear it from others that's not, around them. And if you don't have a wife or a girlfriend, when you get one and you're trying to see if she's about that life, send her to my channel. But you guys, it was nice. I do appreciate everyone for being here. I appreciate all the comments and the love, the likes, and the new subscribers. Thank you so much. I will be doing this a lot more. And okay, you're saying okay. So yeah, definitely keep looking at my videos. I just give you a tip. If you're dating, it's hard to date in today's time because most women are looking at Cardi B as their role models. So to wean out all of those women, you have to make sure that she's not so intrigued by Cardi B. Like, how does she look? The women who are natural, those are your best bet. If she looks like a Cardi B, most likely she'll act like a Cardi B. So that's a good way to wean that out. Just right off the front. And then, if you're able to kind of get in there and get the first date or whatever, have real conversations. And I would suggest, go for a walk. I wouldn't suggest going on a date for at a restaurant. No, don't do it like that. Do it like, let's go talk. You know, talk about things. Understand her childhood. How did she grow up? Does she have a lot of trauma in her life? Does she have her mother? Does she have her father? I'm not saying you're not thinking of this, but if you are not, those are the things you need to be looking for. And then you could start from there and then come back to my channel and definitely let me know how that went. I will be doing this a lot more. Mondays and Fridays, I am doing singles call in. So anyone who wants to share their experience or have questions, I'm here to help on that. Okay. Okay, here's some more help. Avoid feminists. If you don't know what a feminist looks like, listen, they're easy to target. Easy to target. A lot of them don't like men at all. So if one example, you say hi to a woman and she's like, don't talk to me type of thing. Those type of things. If she likes men, she's not going to just off the back have an attitude and look at you like you're crazy. No. That's another way to avoid all of that. There's men in here saying, save your money. Don't waste money on these girls. A lot of girls are going to use you for the food or whatever it is that you want to provide, a good time. No, don't do all that. Yes. Maybe I think you're saying father the relationship, or is there a father? Yeah, I think you're probably saying father the relationship. Yeah, you control that relationship. Make sure that you're being a good leader. I don't know exactly all your morals, but it seems like your morals are on point from the things I've been seeing you respond on here. Make sure that you're the leader of that relationship. Don't let nobody control that. You're the leader at all times. All right. So yes, every Monday and Friday, I will be doing single call in. So if you have any questions or have any concerns with the dating to marriage area, please call in. Like I said, thanks for joining my live, and I will definitely see you guys probably tomorrow. And if not, it will be Friday. He says good father in her life. There you go. More clarity. Good father, meaning that her father is present, not someone that's always, in and out. That's not a good father. Good fathers are always present. They have a great relationship. They talk on the phone. It don't have to be daily, but it's all the like weekly, whatever. She sees him often, she could call him. He's like, hey, baby, that type of thing. A great role model showing leadership. So she knows that how she treats her father, she's going to treat you the same way, which is respect. If you see a woman not respecting her father, she ain't going to respect you. So run far away. Go as far as you can. Do not be with women like that. All right, you guys. I'm going to end this live, and it was nice chatting it up with you.
Artlist.io.
One day, I believe in the future. I believe
Music licensing reimagined.
I believe what you truly desire, you can bring to pass. All you need is a focus and a story to hold, and the faith that you can achieve what's inside your soul. Someday we'll make it all right. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. Either way,
Artlist.io.
we're gonna get. Someday we'll make it all right. Someday. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. Either way, we're gonna get. Know that you can make it. Hold it tight, cause they will try to take it.
Music licensing reimagined.
But whatever you do, don't let them break it. This moment's just a new chance to take into your own hands and shape the life you see inside your dreams. Someday we'll make it on right. Someday. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. Either way, we're gonna get
Artlist.io.
someday we'll make it on someday right. We'll make it. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. Either way, we're gonna get better. In your heart there lives a dream for your soul to master.
Music licensing
From the moment that
reimagined.
you breathe, get to chasing after, yeah. All that you want, all that you ever dreamed. You can make anything of this life. Someday we'll make it all right. Other days we only can someday try. We only try. No matter what people say. Either way, we're gonna get
Artlist.io.
someday. Other days we only can try. Other days, no matter what people say. No matter what they say, we gonna get someday we'll make it on time. Someday. Other days we only can try. Other days, no matter what people say.
Music licensing reimagined.
Someday we'll make it on time. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what we're gonna get. We're gonna get. Someday we'll make it on right. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what we say. Either way, we're gonna get better.
Artlist.io. Artlist.io.